This is Nerd Overlord Michael, and you're listening to The Average Geek Show.
Welcome to episode 12 of The Average Geek Show. My name is Brian.
My name's Philippe.
And you are listening to...
Spoilers!
The Guardians of the Galaxy Spoiler Cast.
Oh, baby, I've been waiting for this one. Finally, we can talk about it.
We have a good movie to review.
Oh, finally. You know, it's been driving me fucking crazy because people on my Facebook page, on my personal Facebook page, has been like, dude, how was Guardians of the Galaxy, man? And I'm like, I can't talk about it right now.
We can't talk. You have to wait for the show.
Right? Shit. I want to take my kids to it. How was it? Listen to the show. Just shut up.
Just take your kids. Just go. Don't listen to me. Such a good movie.
Oh, and you know what? It showed, because at the box office, this thing, just for the week, over the weekend, it hit $94 million.
I believe
domestically. It. That's $1 million more than that craptacular movie, Godzilla. And what's even better is this movie hit $160 million globally.
And that's just in the first weekend.
That's just in the first weekend. And dude, that's over $57 million higher than Godzilla.
What was the budget for this movie?
I think it was 100. If I remember reading, it was like 172 or 173 million.
So it came pretty damn close to making its money back in the first week.
Yeah, it's easily going to make it this week, without a doubt. This movie was just, ugh.
I've heard a lot of people talking about this on the internet, and they're saying that this is Marvel's best movie yet.
You know?
I agree. Wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I really do.
It's so good, and it's so nice to see Phase 3 kick off with a bang.
Yeah.
You know, before we get started, Philippe, I really have to point out that I cannot look at you anymore.
Why?
Because you shaved off your beard, and now you look like...
Now I'm sexy.
No. I miss the beard.
You just missed rubbing my beard.
No, you look weird without the beard.
You know,
and we're no longer the Beard Brothers anymore.
That's true. Well, somebody has to, kind of break the mold here.
Psh, they broke the mold when they made me.
Oh, shit.
So what was your decision to shave off the beard?
I was kind of bored with it.
Really?
Yeah, after because I would always trim it. And then after about 2 weeks, I'd always do this thing with my soul patch where it would kind of start curling up after week 2. And then it got kind of annoying to me. But it was really funny. So whenever I work on the computer, because I'm in the IT field, and whenever I work on the computer, I'm concentrating on something, I would rub my soul patch. And so I was doing work at home on Sunday, and I was trying to rub him damn it, it's not there anymore.
It's not there.
My source of concentration is gone.
I miss you. No, I had the same thing when I moved back out here from Wisconsin. I shaved off. I had the full on Duck Dynasty beard.
Yeah.
And before I moved out here, I was like, screw it, and I just shaved it all off.
Right.
Worst decision ever. Because it's I'd reach up to scratch my chin, and it'd be oh,
yeah,
there's no fur there.
Well, knowing me, I mean, this is honestly, probably the second longest I've ever had my beard. The first longest, I think I had it for 2 years, and I didn't shave it within 2 years, so it was just gigantic. But this is probably the second longest I've ever had it. I'll go 2 months on, then I'll shave it, and then the next day I'll start growing it back again. And so, I mean, I'll probably, because it's getting pretty hot and humid, so I think maybe after summer I'll probably start growing it again.
Come around No Shave November.
Yeah, exactly. It gives me a reason.
Well, they didn't tune into hear us talk about our beards and our
that's
facial
true.
hair
That's
and
true.
styling tips and all that. So let's get into the nitty-gritty here. Let's talk about Guardians of the Galaxy. All right, so for those of you who have never listened to our show before and you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy, you may want to pick a different episode because we are going to be talking plot lines, story arc. We're going to be talking about things that happened during the show that are or the movie that were our favorite parts. So you may want to wait and just see the movie and then listen to the show.
Yeah.
So this movie can be summed up in two simple sentences. Prisoners break out. Prisoners save the world.
Yeah, that really is what the movie's about. I mean, honestly.
I mean, if you wanted to get a little more detailed, you know, you have a group of misfits that find each other, and then they're arrested because they're fighting with each other. Then they find a way to break out of prison. They work together. They see a common goal, a way to make money.
Right.
Discover that their way to make money is something super, super dangerous, and they want to keep it from the bad guy who's already stolen it.
Right.
And they form this team to end up, kind of by accident, saving the day.
Yeah.
And becoming the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right. And that's what I really liked about the whole entire movie was these heroes, unlike your typical superhero, they were imperfect. Mm-hmm. I mean, they had these crazy backstories, you know, like Rocket the Raccoon. He was basically this experiment, you know, cybernetic implants, and Star-Lord, his mom died when he was young, and Gamora was the adopted daughter of Thanos. So it was just crazy, you know, just all this, just this intertwining, and they were all criminals, and that's what made it so fucking good. Like you said, it's like they're criminals, they're bad guys, they're assassins, they've killed tons of people, and yet they end up saving the whole fucking universe at the same time, you know?
I am Groot. Oh, God. You know, as much as I'd hate to say this, because I totally went into this movie saying, I'm not going to love these two. I'm going to pick a different character to fall in love with. Fucking Groot and Rocket.
Right?
Steal the fuck out of that movie.
Right? You know, it's interesting. Like, for me, it was like, I don't think any one particular character just totally stole the show. Like in Avengers, I personally thought the Hulk kind of stole that show because he was so fucking unexpected out of left field that you're like, holy crap, the Hulk is awesome. But this one, I didn't really think any one particular character. I liked, just like you, I really liked Rocket Raccoon and Groot and their whole relationship together.
Absolutely.
But I don't think any one particular character just really stole that shit. They all kind of stole the fucking show. It was that damn good, you know?
Yeah, see, for me, I mean, it was the Groot and Rocket show.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, you know.
Bradley Cooper, when I heard that Bradley Cooper was going to be casted as Rocket the Raccoon, well, first of all, I said, what? A fucking raccoon with a gun? That's fucking weird.
You know who originally was slated to do that role? David Tennant.
Oh, God, that would have been awesome.
But no, now I can't see David Tennant in that role.
I can't either. Bradley Cooper did such a damn good job. Like, I remember before this movie came out, you know, there were all these hopes of how good it would be. And this one movie critic said, Bradley Cooper's performance is going to make or break this film.
Absolutely.
And I really agree with that. And when you see his performance in this, it's amazing. I was like, wow. You
absolutely.
are awesome.
I mean, I was blown away. I went into this going, okay, you know, we've got a talking raccoon, a talking tree.
That only says one thing, a phrase.
Well, three things, actually. I am Groot.
Yeah.
In that order. One of my favorite lines from that movie. Yeah, so far he only says three things. I am Groot. In that order. But no, I mean, you know, to me, it seemed like there wasn't any real, like, we're going to focus only on this.
Right.
You know, the focus was a lot more broad, but it worked.
Right.
And one of the things I loved that James Gunn needs to be, like, knighted for, in my mind,
Yeah.
is how he made the music a character in itself.
Totally. I totally agree.
The day after we saw that, I went out on a quest to find the soundtrack on CD because I want a hard copy of this.
Yeah.
And I was able to find it.
Nice.
It was the best soundtrack I think I have ever purchased.
You know, it really was. Like you said, the soundtrack really was kind of like a character of itself.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I take that back. There's been very, very few movies that I've seen that done and done well. And he killed it. I mean, it was perfect. It really was.
And it really brought you into, you know, Star-Lord's state of mind. I mean, because he's still a kid.
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
inside there. I mean, and it totally comes out in his character.
Yeah.
And I cannot say enough about this movie. I mean, the only thing that I could really complain about was Thanos. I mean, Josh Brolin did a great job portraying Thanos.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell it was Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
But I don't think we saw enough of him.
You know, I'm gonna have to totally agree on that. I thought it was cool. It was what I thought was really crazy was just, I don't know when they casted him, like when exactly they casted him.
They cast him at the same time as the rest of the cast.
Okay.
But they did not release it until like 3 weeks before the movie came out.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So, yeah, you know, I mean, I agree. I think they should have shown him a lot more, especially with Ronan the Accuser just running fucking wild. You know, you would think Thanos would be fucking livid, you know? But maybe he's such a badass, he doesn't have to be. He's like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, Thanos
You know?
is just like, you're going to fuck up, and I'm going to be there to pick up your pieces.
And I'm going to be sitting here on my fucking space chair laughing at your bitch ass.
Exactly.
You know, for me, the only thing I didn't like was, you know, Gamora and Nebula are sisters.
Yeah.
And you saw a little bit of their sibling rivalry, but I would have really liked to focus in a little bit more on it. Just why they're button heads and why they're so...
You're an only child, aren't you?
I am.
Okay, then you don't understand. It's about competing for affection.
I get... Oh, yeah, I guess.
Because in the movie, Thanos clearly says, my favorite daughter, Gamora.
Right, that's true.
And Nebula's standing right fucking there going, you dick.
I must have missed that when I was talking to the wife or the kid.
I am one of 4. I completely understood that whole thing. There was no additional explanation needed.
I personally would have liked to see them kick each other's ass a little bit more.
No, that was so fucking awesome. Nebula starts fucking monologuing. Drax hits her with the rocket launcher. Just poof. And everybody's like, okay.
That was almost like the Hulk and Loki thing.
Yeah.
It's just like, whoa! Whoa!
Unexpected. And then he's like, nobody talks to my green whore that way.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. That was really awesome.
No, you know, this movie really wasn't billed as a comedy, but I laughed through that entire movie. There's so many great little jokes and little, like, innuendos and everything. It was,
Yeah.
The whole theater was cracking up.
Oh, totally. That's what that's what one of the things I really liked about it was with the typical superhero movies, they're a lot more serious. It's a lot more serious, but there's some funny parts in it. Whereas this was it was both lighthearted and serious all at the same time.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's what made it so freaking good. Oh my God.
And in a previous podcast, we talked about how they wanted Chris Pratt for Indiana Jones.
Right.
And at first I was kind of like, well, I haven't seen enough of his work. I don't know how I feel about that. You know, I'd really like to see so-and-so as Indiana Jones. My mind is completely changed.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt for the new Indiana Jones,
Yeah.
if they go that direction.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Star-Lord is so much like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, he really is. He's that gung-ho, balls to the wall, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to make fun and do everything, to do it. Oh God, he was so great in that role. It was crazy.
I mean, the movie was really well cast.
Yeah.
It was really well written, and it was executed brilliantly.
Yeah. Every single person that they cast, from all the Guardians of all the Guardians to the people in Nova Corps to the villains, were perfect.
Perfectly cast.
Perfect. Couldn't have asked for a better casted movie.
And usually with every movie, there's a certain point in the movie where I'm like, oh my God, just get to it. Let's move on.
Yeah.
I didn't have that in this movie.
No.
I mean, I didn't want this movie to end.
Yeah, serious. This movie could have gone on for 6 hours, and I think everybody in that movie would have been happy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just, and this is one of those movies where you go and you drop, $20 to $30 between your ticket and the snacks and everything. Yeah. I have no problem doing that with this movie.
No. In fact, I wouldn't mind going to see it again and paying the same amount, because it's worth it. I mean, oh my God.
I'm right there with you. Let's plan that.
Right? Maybe when the craziness dies down, it's like, let's go see Guardians of the Galaxy again.
Wait, how much longer do we have to wait until it comes out on Blu-ray?
Right. Oh, dude. I'm buying this the day it fucking comes out.
Oh, man. Me too.
I haven't bought, videos in a while, but this is going to be one that I'm buying.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? And I think one of the great things about this movie, it has re-energized me for Marvel films.
Yeah.
Because I was seriously reaching a point where I was like, okay, another Thor movie. Oh, goody.
Yeah, the Avengers was great. But yeah, another Thor movie. We had Iron Man 3. And, I mean, while they were good...
Yeah, they were fine films. They weren't wrong. It's just it was getting monotonous.
Yeah, it was. They were rehashing kind of the same shit over and over again.
Yeah. But Guardians of the Galaxy has just kind of re-energized people. And I think they timed it perfectly.
Yeah. Because, I mean, what they can do from this.
Oh, God, yeah.
Take this out more. Oh, my God. And all the other, characters and series and movies that they can introduce just from Thanos himself.
Oh, yeah. And they're already talking an Avengers Guardians crossover.
Oh, my God.
I think Philippe needs a towel.
Oh, I may.
So I was scrolling through my news feed yesterday.
Yeah.
And this comes to us from IO9.
Okay.
This is an amazing website. If you've never been there, go check it out. This is where we get a lot of our information.
Well, if you're listening to this show and you've never checked out IO9, what is wrong with you?
Right? So this comes to us from IO9. Apparently, Marvel set up a private screening for the co-creator of Rocket Raccoon of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wow.
I guess he's incredibly sick. There's a picture of him here after seeing the movie. He's in a hospital bed. He doesn't look like he's doing too well.
Yeah.
But the co-creator that they showed this movie to was Bill Mantlo. The article basically says Marvel hooked him up with a private viewing of Guardians, and his wife was there and his cousin was there. They just wanted him to be able to sit back, relax, and watch the movie.
Yeah.
And they said that Bill thoroughly enjoyed it, giving it his highest compliment, the big thumbs up. And when the credits rolled, his face was locked into the hugest smile I have ever seen him wear in the last 22 years.
Wow.
And he had 2 tears of joy on his face after the movie. So when the creator of Rocket Raccoon sees this movie and cries,
yeah,
they were on target.
Oh, yeah. Well, and can you imagine how awesome that must feel for Bradley Cooper as well?
Oh, that's got to be a huge compliment.
Yeah. I mean, he just must be on cloud 105. I mean, that's awesome.
I mean, we really can't say enough about how awesome this movie is. I mean, if you haven't seen it, you need to seriously go spend the money and see this movie. I know I said go pirate Godzilla. Do not pirate this movie.
Yeah.
This movie needs to be experienced on the big screen.
It really does. I'm curious how it would be on 3D. I mean, I personally think the whole 3D thing is...
I would not see this in 3D. I think it was gorgeous the way it was in 2D.
Agreed.
I am of the opinion that 3D is a gimmick, and we should not support it so that it can die for a second time.
Unless you do something cool like Captain EO, where the little furry guy comes out and wants to sit on your shoulder, then yes, that's awesome 3D.
Or Michael Jackson jumps into the audience and runs away with a little boy.
So wrong, yet so hilarious.
A lot of this movie was CG,
Yeah,
and you really don't notice it.
yeah,
Like in Godzilla, we saw, it's just like, okay, CG. CG.
and it was good CG.
It was good. It was good, but it was not, the story was not so enveloping that you didn't notice the CG.
Yeah, agreed.
With this, the story was so good and it has you hooked in so much
Yeah,
that you really didn't care or notice the CG. I mean, there were a couple of times I was in the mostly CG.
yeah,
But I never once thought of Rocket or Groot as CG characters. I only thought of them as actual characters,
Right.
that were in the movie interacting. And it's just phenomenally good.
yeah. And the landscapes were fucking gorgeous. Like when they're in their ship and they're flying to the one big kind of rock where the collector is.
The Milano.
Yeah, that was fucking gorgeous. That whole scene when they fly in there, and I was like, oh my god.
So I have to point out, because you bring up the ship, I have to point out an Easter egg.
Okay.
The ship's called the Milano.
Okay.
Okay, Star-Lord, Peter Quill,
Yeah.
we know was abducted during 1988.
Right.
The reason his ship is called the Milano
Yeah.
is because of Alyssa Milano.
No fucking way.
Yes.
That's so awesome.
And it's like, I saw that and I was like, no fucking way. I had the same reaction. I'm like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, that really is.
So, I mean, it's just really, really well done. And I know who Star-Lord's father is.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Well, see, this kind of goes to what I'm looking forward to. You mentioned that Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is coming out.
It's going to be coming out soon. It's on that list that was released. And it comes out July 28th of 2017. We have to wait 3 fucking years.
Oh, dude, I'm going to be 40.
You're going to have a 14-year-old.
Yep. Oh, my gosh.
And the movie is going to be titled War of Kings, which alludes to Peter Quill's heritage.
Oh, really?
Yes, apparently, and I don't know if you want me to spoil this, but this is a spoiler cast.
Yeah.
His father is the king of the Spartax planetary system. And his father hired the Ravagers to go and collect Peter Quill from Earth and bring him to the Spartax planetary
very cool.
system.
Very cool.
So, I'm thinking War of Kings, we're probably going to see Peter Quill's father.
Yeah.
But, aside from that, we're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
the first movie that just came out. I can't talk enough about how awesome this movie is. What was your favorite part, Fleet?
Oh, God, dude. The whole movie? I mean, honestly, I cannot think of one. No, you know what my favorite part is? Is when they are in the jail. When Rocket devises this plan to escape for all of them, to gather all of them and to escape. And it's just the whole, I mean, that scene must have been total, 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
It's just everything leading up to Drax kicking everyone's ass, Groot making himself the big ladder, Rocket scrambling around, rewiring shit.
I need that guy's leg.
Oh,
seriously?
God, dude.
Okay, here's the leg. Why did you get that? I didn't need that. But I gotta ask, was he hopping around just
Ridiculous.
And in order to make this plan work, I need that guy's eye. No, you don't. Oh, come on. I totally do.
I mean, just that whole scene was awesome. And that I think really bonded the whole, that was the key point in the whole movie where that whole group really became the group. Where they
and how well they worked together.
Yeah. Yeah. So that to me was awesome.
I love when they do this in movies. This was my favorite scene. the whole gearing up scene.
Oh, yeah.
Set to Cherry Bomb.
Yeah.
And it was just like, the just gearing up, checking all their weapons. I love when movies do that.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's the build-up because you know they're going to go and kick some ass.
Right? Seriously.
The whole scene where Groot's just like, looking around. He's like, I am Groot. And all of a sudden he's just like, whew, a bunch of twigs come out of his back. Vin Diesel probably had a total of 5 minutes recording time for that movie.
Oh, easily.
But still one of the best characters.
That character was awesome. Really is.
I am a Groot fan.
So when are you buying the pop vinyl of it?
As soon as I can find it.
Now with as popular as Guardians of the Galaxy is, I don't think you'll be able to find it for about a month or so.
Fucking luck, right? Well, I have these wonderful friends down at Comics and Stuff that if I tell them I'm looking for something, they usually order it for me.
Nice. Nice.
And they know what I'm looking for, so they make sure it's legit when they get
notch, yeah, good.
So, you bring up the prison scene.
Yeah.
And that has probably one of my favorite cameos ever in a movie.
Okay.
And that's Nathan Fillion.
Oh, yeah. He was that big blue guy, right?
He was the big blue prisoner that goes in, like, when they first get there and is like, I'm going to make you my bitch, And all of a sudden Groot shoves his fingers up his nose and grows into the guy's skull. He's just writhing in pain. Best line ever, Peter Quill says, I'm with them.
Yeah. And I love it how Rocket becomes like this little badass after Groot's like holding him in the air.
It's like
his two fingers.
You want to get to him, you got to go through me. And you get to me, you got to go through him. Such a great movie. I mean,
Totally.
Literally laughs at every turn in this movie.
Yeah.
We could go on and on about this movie, but another great part is when the ship has crashed onto Nova Prime.
Yep.
And, they're all standing around looking at each other. And there's Ronan, you know. And Star-Lord just starts busting out singing. And just dancing around.
Yeah.
And I love how Ronan just stops, looks into him and goes, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm distracting you, you turd nugget. That was like, that's great.
Yeah.
Talk about a movie that does not take itself seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, through the whole movie, they're just constantly like, okay, this is stupid. What are we doing here?
Right.
And I don't think I can really say a bad thing about this.
No, I honestly can't either.
I will say, though, there is one thing I can say that it was bad about it.
Okay.
I didn't care for Stan Lee's cameo. It wasn't very eventful. It was just like, oh, there he is.
Stan Lee, he always has to put himself in every frickin' film, comic book related.
But the fans look for that. It's like the Where's Waldo game inside the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Where's the Generalissimo?
Right. So, yeah, I mean, for me, 5 out of 5 stars. I mean, seriously, if I could give 6, I mean, fuck.
Yeah, for me, it's a 5 out of 5 as well. I mean, this is definitely a go see this movie.
Yeah. Do yourself a favor. Go see it now.
Yeah, absolutely. Wait till the podcast is done and then, get in your car, hop on the bus, do whatever, go see this movie.
Actually, you should be listening to the podcast right now.
On the way to
the show. Because we're on iTunes, Stitcher, all that. You should be listening to it right now.
Absolutely.
On the way to the show.
There's no reason not to. So with that, I think we're going to wrap up this spoiler cast. Thank you guys so much for listening. Stay tuned because our next episode, all I'm going to say is, who's the doctor?
Oh.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is our Doctor Who cast just in time for the next series to start.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a good one.
And we have a special guest joining us, so stay tuned. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter, where you can find us at Average Geek Show Official on Facebook and Average Geek Show on Twitter.
Yep.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.